So, I want to share with you three movies that has shaped my life as both an entrepreneur and and let me see, a career professional and all that. These three movies are actually real life story of people that exist and how they navigated their lives to the top. So it actually motivates me that if these people could do it, that means that I can actually do it. That is, I want to share these three movies with you and how it shaped my life to become what or who I'm becoming. The first movie I will talk about is The Pursuit of Happiness. Now, this is a story of the billionaire called Chris Gardner. He had no job and then in the quest to get a job, what he did was that he took up an unpaid internship in a brokerage firm after he actually lost his whole life savings trying to invest into a business that didn't pick up or that didn't grow. Now, whilst doing that, whilst he lost everything, his wife left him, and then he had to take care of his son. And a man without a job taking care of his son, it's quite an emotional movie that makes me reflect on how Chris Gardner navigated through this whole journey. And I believe that what this movie taught me was that the number one, it gave me a why. That is, I need to have a why. What is my reason for pursuing what I'm pursuing? I needed to get a motivation. And then the second thing is that who is the reason why you can't give up? I had to think about people that would suffer if I give up. Yes, I always think about people that will suffer if I actually give up in this life. And then the next thing is that the next thing this movie taught me was that who's the reason why you can put down your shame and then get your hands dirty just to make them happy. So who's the reason you would actually put your shame aside? You can put your shame aside, get your hands dirty just to put smiles on their faces. When you have these people, this is the basis for motivation, because I realized in the movie that his whole life was centered around the son, and he knew that if he failed, his son was not going to get the kind of life he was looking for. Until you have these reasons, I believe that you may not be motivated enough to pursue what you want to pursue. Yes, I think the second movie I will talk about is The Banker. Okay, The Banker. Now, this movie is about it's a story of a black man in the early 1954 when racism was a real challenge. Okay, most black men were only good for menial jobs, and they never had a chance to get promotions in their jobs. Black people couldn't even own their own properties at the time. And however, there was a man called Bernard Garrett. Yes, Bernard Garrett. Now, he defied all the odds. He got tired of trying to find a job from one company to the other, to banks and all that, and he was denied all the jobs because of his color. Now, what he did was that he stopped looking for a job and decided to take it higher, and he basically defied all odds and decided to start a real estate company. When he started the real estate company, he grew to the extent that he even went ahead to buy buildings or properties of the businesses or one of the banks that he wanted to work in. He bought the property the bank was actually operating in, so the bank was paying rent to him. Now, instead of being an employee to the bank was now paying rent to him. It's quite an interesting movie because it gives you a lot of perspective about life. What this movie taught me was that it taught me how to go beyond the status quo. That is, if no one has done it, it doesn't mean that it's not doable. So I put everything aside and I try to pursue hard what I'm trying to pursue. No matter what I hear from people, I try to do it because that is the status quo, and I want to go beyond the status quo. I believe that we should learn how to go beyond the status quo. This movie I recommend to you. And then the last movie I recommend is called The Wolf of Wall Street. Oh my God. Wolf of Wall Street. Listen, this is the movie where I learned a lot of marketing, sales, branding. Wow, this is my go-to area. Now, the movie is about this gentleman called Jordan Belfort. Okay, he didn't really do good, but he didn't do good with his company. They basically ripped off people while trying to build their own company as well. But what I learned from this business, or what I learned from this movie, is that this young man he basically took street guys, people who had no education. He took street guys, he groomed them to become world-class salesmen. The team sold very, very, very useless stocks. I mean, stocks that even a two-year-old can actually see this. I don't want to buy this. This wouldn't work. But these guys were so embellished. They were groomed as world-class salesmen. The way they present everything, they could sell you anything. They sold useless stocks to millionaires and billionaires. All right, because they could do this. They could make the sales because of the kind of branding they had put into their work and the kind of sales they were making. What this movie taught me was that was the art of branding that can actually attract top tier customers. And then it also taught me how not to waste money. Yeah, there's a lot of money wasting in this movie, and it teaches me how not to waste my money. Yes, this movie teaches you a lot. And then the movie also taught me the art of sales. Yes, how to sell, how to use script to sell. And it also taught me how to build a team that I can trust and then I can grow with. So these are the three movies that I think shaped me and shaped my mindset. Movies are not bad, and not every movie is bad. I think you should find time to watch these movies, as they can help you to reshape your mindset. I wish you all the best, and I hope I meet you in my next video. Thank you.